Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is something that's actually new for us. We are going to start doing mouse reviews, and then later leading in the keyboards and whatnot. So hopefully we can get one of these out every week or so. Today, we are actually starting out with one of the mice I've been looking forward to the most, and that is the PULSAR X2H. I don't know if anyone's used the regular PULSAR before, the X2. The H is essentially just they increase the size of the hump. So if anyone's a claw user out there, you'll probably be really excited for this review. So when you first get your PULSAR in, unboxing it, top just slides off and you are introduced to just the mouse. And then under that, you will find two other boxes. One of them is going to be larger. This is what's going to be holding your manuals and your USB Type-C cable. It is a braided cable. It's not bad. One thing I like that mice have been doing lately is they actually put this little 45-degree angle on it. So that way your mouse cable is not dragging on your mouse pad while you're using the mouse in wired form. And then down here in the tinier box, we are going to get our 2.4 gigahertz dongle. And you can go ahead and throw this directly into your computer. Or if you want to use the USB Type-C, you can route it to the box and just keep the dongle right next to your mouse at all times. All right, guys, so let's see what PULSAR is thrown into this guy. We are looking at the PAW3395 sensor. That is kind of the go-to flagship sensor for most competitive gaming mice, aside from those like Logitech or Razer who are going to use their own proprietary sensor. The other big thing is, if anyone's a big FPS fan and you like having that lightweight mouse, this guy is weighing at 54 grams. We will go ahead and throw that on our scale and see what we get. So we're also looking at 1,000 hertz polling rate. I know with more of the competitive modern mice out there, they're at 4,000. But to be completely honest, 1,000 hertz isn't something most people would notice in a daily use case. I found it to be great. I've used 4,000 hertz, and I'm nothing against it. Those are great too. But this mouse is still really good, and it does the job. And I think everyone would be happy with it if this becomes your type of mouse. It is also rated for a 100-hour battery. I was able to use it for a week, and I only had to charge it once, and it didn't even go down to zero. So I can say the battery on this thing is great if you're someone that doesn't like to charge your mouse every night, or if you just leave it lying around. This isn't one that's going to just die on you immediately. Other big thing they're doing here that's a little different is they are using their optical switches. So anyone that's used to mechanical switches, the opticals are going to be a little different for you in terms of feel and sound. So we are going to go ahead and play a sound test for you right now and show you what these guys are. So the big thing about this mouse, PULSAR did have the original, the X2. The X2H, what they've done is they've gone ahead and made the hump a little higher. Now, as you can see, one big difference on this mouse that you may be used to is how far back the hump is. And that is because this is designed to be a claw grip mouse. So for claw grip, honestly, that's what I use. And I immediately love this thing. I'm not going to lie. This has been one of my favorite claw grip mice. Honestly, right when you bury your palm into it and bend your fingers, everything goes exactly where it should be. Thumb is right under the side buttons, easy to reach. I will say, though, for those of you that like ambi mice, like the Logitech Superlight, the Glorious Model O, something that can shape in different ways, I did not find this mouse to work out very well with palm or fingertip. With palm, you kind of get this feeling that I call floating fingers. Because of this high rear hump, your fingers don't really want to rest naturally down on the buttons. They kind of want to go keep your hand straight. So your hand just kind of wants to stay straight, and you kind of have to force your fingers down. Fingertip, it just because there is this rounded back, fingertip grip just didn't want to work. I always found my fingers just catching it, or I still found myself naturally burying my palm into the back of the mouse. So fingertip, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it's not what I would recommend. I would say this mouse is strictly for claw users. And for claw, this is one of the best I've used. I've been maining the Lamzu Atlantis at home, and this is a very close competitor to take that over. All right, guys, so after all the specs, I was able to use this thing for about a week. To be honest, this mouse is great. The claw grip was amazing. I spent the whole week fighting for freedom and liberty in Helldivers 2, and I not once got any hiccups, stutters. The mouse was perfect. And like I was saying, that 1000 hertz polling rate, I didn't notice anything. I didn't notice going from a Razer to this. There was no big difference for me. I thought it was great. I had fun. It also didn't have any of that sliding into relaxed claw grip. This one actually held that full claw the entire time. Now, when I played some of my more relaxed game, like this week, I was playing some War Tales on the side, which is just a standard point and click RTS game. I was able to put myself into a relaxed claw and it was still comfortable, but it wasn't one of those nice where my hand did it automatic. Like I said, I held that full claw the entire time. And to be honest, that's a rare find. So if you are a claw grip person, this mouse is doing really good so far. This mouse also does come with PULSAR software. Honestly, there's not too much to say about this. It's very straightforward for anyone that's used mouse software. You can change your e-bounce time. You can change your DPI. You will have different DPI settings, and you can change those different profiles. And there is a little button right on the bottom of the mouse that you can click, and you will see a light go on the side of the mouse corresponding with the profile you're on. Overall, it's very simple. It's not too much, not too little. For most people, this is really all you need. So guys, this has been a very good claw grip mouse. I have very little to complain about the shape or the switches. I do like the optical switches, but like I said, that is personal preference. But performance-wise, this thing's great. Accuracy was unbelievable. I never had any stutters, like I said, and my hand always held that claw shape. That's not to say, though, that I don't have some negatives about this. So the very first negative I have is this coating. It is a very grippy coating. I didn't find my hands slipping in any way, but this coating will pick up everything. I actually washed my hands just before the review and I wiped down the mouse. And as you can see, it already has fingerprints everywhere on it. So whether you're clean or oily, this thing is going to pick it up. So if you're someone that doesn't want to wipe your mouse down every use, that might be a failing point for you. I did find myself having to clean it every time I used it. So my second kind of negative point is this scroll wheel. It is good. It does have those distinctive tactile bumps as you use it, but the wheel itself feels a little loose and doesn't really have that lock in between each bump. So I found myself sometimes when I tried switching weapons with the scroll wheel instead of the numpad, I would actually over scroll like 1 or 2 clicks. And for some people, that might be a deal breaker. I did kind of train myself to kind of scroll slower and follow those bumps, but it's just something I wanted to point out. I think PULSAR, if they just tightened up this wheel a little bit, it'd be much better. All right, guys, so the very last thing, it's kind of subjective. We went over it earlier, but that is that this is a claw mouse and a claw mouse only. So if you're doing claw, it is perfect. You won't need a different mouse. But if you're someone that likes to do fingertip or palm on the side, this mouse just wasn't working for me on that end. I found the other grips just not great. So this is something to only look at if you are a claw user, and that's really all you want. So even with those negatives out of the way, the fingerprint issues, the loose scroll wheel, none of those really deterred me from the mouse too much. I think this is a great claw grip mouse, maybe one of the best, if not the best on the market for me personally. So if you're someone that likes claw grip and you're someone that plays a lot of competitive FPSs and you want the best of the best, I really like this guy. Even with just the 1000 hertz polling rate, I found this mouse great, snappy, accurate, and I had no issues whatsoever. So I do recommend this as a buy for anyone that's a claw grip user and likes their competitive FPS titles. All right, guys, that is the PULSAR X2H. Thank you for watching this review. Don't forget, give us a like and subscribe and comment any opinions you have down below. If you want to see more of these reviews, please let us know. Peace.
Alexander PCs. Work, play, conquer.